Hello and welcome to Only Connect. Do you hate being scared by spooky stories? If so, let me recommend ITV's new Tales of the Expected, in which a family who've just moved into an old rectory are woken up by strange clanking sounds in the night. Turns out it's the central heating. Quizzing this evening are, on my right, Jonathan Kershaw, a Green volunteer for Rochdale Council who owns every edition of Car magazine since 1985. Peter Barlow, a French studies graduate who encountered a courageous mole on a recent nature hike. And their captain, Brett Bostock, a grandfather of 5 who is an enthusiastic campaigner for both train and tram and a member of a steam engine preservation society. United by a passion for the planet, they are the eco-warriors. You won your first heat against the escapologists in a very close match. How are you feeling about your second game?
I'm quietly confident that we have at least another match in us.
Let's hope so, otherwise it could be a short evening. You are up against, this time, on my left, Thomas Ricklick, a maths graduate who has cycled across Tasmania and spent 40 seconds on the Isle of Wight. Kate Pfeffer, a keen amateur baker who spent significant time in a Japanese monastery. And their captain, John Howe, a PhD student who recently had a game of croquet sabotaged by a marauding peacock. United by a regard for reptiles, they are the snake charmers. Now, you beat the extras in your first heat. How have you prepared for the next game?
Well, we all recently left the country. Tom went to Australia, Kate went to New Zealand, and I went to the Czech Republic, and we've been trying to work out the connection between these 3 places, but we've not come up with anything, so that doesn't bode well.
Our core viewers are now going to spend the whole of the rest of the programme trying to work that out, and they won't even hear the questions. Never mind, we'll play anyway. You won the toss, Snake Charmers, but you've elected to put your opponents in first. So, eco-warriors, please choose a hieroglyph.
Lion, please.
Lion. OK, what is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Yeah, we better have it. Next. Could it be once? No, we don't do breast. No. Sting. We'll try next. Next. Yeah. Next. Oh.
The Italian painters.
Translations. We think that these are the English translations of the names of Italian painters, probably Renaissance.
I'm afraid you think incorrectly. So I'm going to show the last clue to the Snake Charmers for a possible bonus point.
I think you can shake a stick at.
No, that's too long. Now, it is to do with translations. Translations of types of coffee. Espresso,
yes.
macchiato, cappuccino, and, of course, Americano. Cappuccinos, it takes its name from Capuchin monks who were named after their hoods.
Yeah.
Do they wear hoods in Japanese monasteries?
Not as far as I saw most of the time.
That leaves many questions unanswered. Names of coffee translated. No bonus point then, Snake Charmers, but you may choose a question.
Could we have the horned viper, please?
I don't see why not. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Dutch 12.
12.
Double Dutch.
I think we need to go next.
Yeah.
Next, please. Oh, is it the composition of some...
Is it the
the
EU?
composition of something. I don't know what. I think we
Yeah, go for it.
next, please.
So it's going to be 9/12 something.
I mean, next, please. Is it the composition of something? But I have no idea what.
3 seconds.
This is the number of South American countries that speak a given language.
That is exactly right. Independent South American countries. You get French Guyana, they speak French, but that's a department of France. Yes, 1 in 12 independent countries in South America speaks Dutch. What country?
Suriname?
It is. English in...
British in Guyana.
Guyana. Portuguese in...
Brazil.
And Spanish in the others. Well done for a point. Eco-warriors, what would you like?
2 reeds.
2 reeds. It's the music question. Lovely. Let's all relax and enjoy a piece of music. And when I say relax, I mean the opposite of relax. What's the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
When you cycle by, there began all my dreams. The saddest thing I've ever seen.
Smiths in it.
Yes. Next.
This is Back to the Future.
What's the Smiths song?
No idea. Back to the Future.
As soon as now.
Next.
Well, this is
Pick something. We think they're linked by the colour black.
They are not linked by the colour black, so I'm going to play a blast to the fourth clue to the snake charmers for a possible bonus.
We think the connection is back.
Back to.
Back to is the connection. Yes, you recognise Back to Black and you went for the wrong bit. What else did we hear?
Theme from Back to the Future.
Theme from Back to the Future. The first one you probably don't know.
Sounded like Morrissey.
Oh, it's the Smiths, Back to the Old House. And the last one, Back to Life, Soul to Soul. Who knows the motto of Jazzy B from Soul to Soul?
Not me.
A smiling face, a thumping bass for a loving race.
Aww.
It's nice, isn't it? So you get a bonus point, Snake Charmers, and you may choose a question. What's it to be?
Can we have Eye of Horus, please?
The Eye of Horus. What is the connection between these picture clues? Here's the first.
This
Can't be the red hours, but what else is it? A chevron?
Could be. Next, please. That's brilliant.
Or finger?
There might be a persecution chevron. Next, please.
That's the Old Vic.
The old Vic.
Is it? I think that's the Old Vic.
Next, please.
Yeah, they're all Old Vics.
Oh, are they all Old Vic?
Yeah.
Are they all the old Vic?
I'm going to let you have another go.
Just the Vic.
Are they all Vics?
They're all Vics. I'm going to let you have it because you might refer to them as Old Vic if you were in a very colloquial frame of mind. It is the Old Vic Theatre, the Queen Vic pub. I guess that you might say, oh, let's go down for a drink in the Old Vic. Vegas Vic is certainly an old character. Vegas Vic is a symbol of Las Vegas outside the Pioneer Club. And do you know what's happening in that first clue?
Victory? Something?
Vic Formation. It's the old Vic Formation, I think we have to agree that they must say if they've been in the gang for a long time. Back to you, eco-warriors, for a choice.
Water, please.
Water. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
No idea who it is.
No.
Nothing to hand.
Next, please.
Nope. There's nothing coming there.
OK. Next, please.
No, it was either
Were they all
changed.
renamed?
Possibly because it boss cat over it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to go for another one in case they're all TC?
Yeah. Next, please.
Oh, they've been.
Yes.
Oscar's correct. So.
We think they all live in bins.
They have all lived in bins. Very well done. Oscar the Grouch, obviously, from Sesame Street. The hoarder, Top Cat. He lives in a trash can, doesn't he? A dustbin. What about the first two clues? Do you know Nag and Nell over there?
No.
Beckett characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Endgame,
Yeah.
they live in a bin. And any of you heard of Dr. Jeff Wilson?
Nope.
He's an academic, otherwise known as Professor Dumpster. And he lived in a bin apparently for a year to find out what it was like to live in a very small space, and the findings were very positive. But they'd have to be positive, wouldn't they? That you'd have to know the result was going to be it's fine to live in a small space. Because if it was bad, there'd be no point investigating it, because nobody lived in a bin for a year. All dustbin dwellers, very well done. Snake charmers, there's one question left, the twisted flax. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Corn on the cob.
You hold it with forks.
Next, please.
The first.
The Virgin Queen, Oriana. None of these things apply to corn.
That's how corn reproduces, but I don't think it is.
Next, please.
What's something to do with hands, faces, numbers?
Next, please. Stamps, faces.
2 seconds.
Is it William Howard Taft?
It's not. Eco Warriors, do you want to have a go for a bonus point?
Have they all given their names to forms of pipes or smoking devices?
Are you thinking of a cob pipe?
I have seen such a thing.
Are you right? Yeah, no, I quite like that. But no. It is to do with their names. They are retronyms. None of these things had that name when it was first introduced. Corn on the cob was just corn. But once canned corn or tinned corn came along, it became corn on the cob. It was just Queen Elizabeth, but became Elizabeth I after there was an Elizabeth II. Analogue clock, of course, pre-digital, wouldn't have meant anything. Snail mail, so-called after the invention of email. Retronyms. At the end of round 1, the Eco Warriors have 1 point. The Snake Charmers have 3. On to round 2, the sequences round. What comes fourth in a sequence? That's what I want to know. Eco Warriors will be going first again. Please choose a hieroglyph.
Twisted flax.
The twisted flax. What would come fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Oh, this is Stacey's next. Could be.
Was that so?
Possibly.
Next, please.
It's a stage.
It's a stage.
Is it resurrection? Is it?
No, it's the burial and then it's resurrection, isn't it?
It's going to be
We'll go with that. Resurrection. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going for the resurrection.
I'm afraid that is very much not the answer. So I'm going to show the third in a sequence to the Snake Charmers for a possible bonus point.
Do we have anything?
Oh, is it going backwards?
I can't let you chat.
7.
Nope, that's too long. The answer is 7, Burial of Jesus. Now, these are the last 4 of the 7 sorrows of the Blessed Virgin Mary. The resurrection is good news, of course. The sorrow is the burial of Jesus, and we're going towards the 7th and most sorrowful of the sorrows. So, no points, Snake Charmers, but you may choose your own question.
Could we have Horned Viper, please?
Yes, you could. What is the fourth in this picture sequence? Here's the first.
That's someone stretching out.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Ascended ramp. Is there a special name for those?
There probably is, but I don't know it. Next, please. That's an amp. Oh, it's cramp, ramp, ramp. So it's going to be MP. We'll pick an MP. A picture of Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Oh, no.
And why would that be?
Because he's an MP.
At time of recording, Jacob Rees-Mogg is an MP. I will accept it. What are we looking at?
We're looking at cramp, ramp, amp and ump.
That's right. Yes, we're taking letters off at the beginning each time. You could have had military, police, mezzo piano is a musical term, that sort of thing, or MP, anything that stands for those letters. Well done. Back to you, Eco Warriors.
2 reeds, please.
2 reeds. OK, I'm going to show you the first in a sequence. What comes fourth? Your time starts now.
Next, please.
2, 2. Next.
It's going to be April 2004, or is that too straight?
Possibly. I'll go for the next one then. Yeah, next.
Next, please.
He's got 2.
2 seconds.
Right.
Good luck.
3rd of April 2008.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. Snake Charmers, do you know for possible bonus?
The 3rd of May 2008.
It is the 3rd of May 2008. What are we looking at?
It's the Fibonacci sequence. So you start with 1, 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 3, 5. So next you'd have 3, 5, 8.
That's it. Fibonacci numbers, where the first 2 add up to the next one. So 1 and 1 is 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 3 makes 5, and the next one will be 3rd of May, 3, 5, 8. And if you have trouble understanding the Fibonacci sequence, let me help by explaining what Fibonacci himself said about it. A certain man put a pair of rabbits in a place surrounded on all sides by a wall. How many pairs of rabbits can be produced from that pair in a year if it is supposed that every month each pair begets a new pair, which from the 2nd month on becomes productive? Did that help? That's the Fibonacci sequence. Snake Charmers, well done for the bonus. What question would you like?
Can we have lion, please?
Yes, you could. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Portuguese man of war.
Portugal, 1.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
16.
12, 8,
So,
4.
12, 8, 4.
Spain.
No, because Spain was 12.
No, it was
4 was Greece.
It was Greece, yeah.
So, something. Are they all jellyfish? What would you follow it up with? Next, please.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's that. So,
Something
Yeah.
Tragedy, yeah.
Tragedy 2004.
Correct, for 3 points. Very well done. What are we looking at?
It's the winners of the European Football Championships in those years and things that can follow that country. So Portugal won in 2016, Spain in 2012, Spain again in,
Yes,
as well in
Spanish
2008, and then Greece in 2004.
That's right. So Portuguese man of war, Spanish practice, Spanish steps, Greek salad. Very well done, though, for coming in after 2 clues. Back to you, eco-warriors. What would you like?
Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Yes. Next, please.
Zigzag pattern.
Oh. Is it one of these shows where they do various...
I don't know, I think she'll go the next one.
Next, please.
Absolutely no idea. Can't say. I don't know.
2 seconds.
We're going for a pool of water.
Not it, I'm afraid. Snake Charmers?
Is it a climbing rope?
It's not a climbing rope, no. What are you thinking the sequence is?
It's the final... I think it's the final 4 obstacles on some TV assault course, and I think it might be gladiators.
It absolutely is that. It's the Eliminator at the end of Gladiators. But what they do... I guess there's sort of a rope involved, but specifically they swing through a piece of paper. They burst through paper. Or in the revival, I think they swing through a sort of wall. I mean, not an actual wall, a sort of foam wall. So, yes, it's not about the rope itself. It's about what they swing through at the end of Gladiators. So you were close, but no bonus. You may, however, have the water question, which remains at the end of the round. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Oh, it's me. Oh, it's not apostrophe. So it could be...
Popes.
It could be also somebody's son.
We should go next.
Next, please. 40.
They're all in alphabetical order.
XL. Next, please. Fields. This is 40. As well. Jeremy Johnson, 40. Anything goes for 40?
2 seconds.
Bells.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So a last bonus chance this round for the Eco-Warriors.
W.B. Yeats.
Is the right answer. Very well done. What is the sequence?
Right, there's W.D. W.E. Johns, W.C. Fields.
Yeah.
It'll probably be kinder for the viewers if we start at the beginning. So, W.E. Johns, who wrote the Biggles books, W.D. 40, W.C. Fields, so something W.B., and the most obvious would be Yeats. Very well done. Have you heard this about W.D. 40 being the opposite of duct tape? If it moves when it shouldn't, use duct tape. If it doesn't move when it should, use W.D. 40. Very handy, I think, very handy. That means at the end of round 2, the Eco-Warriors have 2 points, the Snake Charmers have 9. Time now to swing through the connecting wall, and you'll be going first this time, Snake Charmers, so please choose lion or water.
Can we have lion, please?
Yes, you can. 2.5 minutes to solve the lion wall, starting now.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Limped the artist, felt... Austrians. Who's Austrian?
Good gracious, good lord. Good grief. Good lord.
Who
good
else is
heavens.
Austrian? Lauda, maybe.
Yeah, Niki Lauda. Oh, but we've also we have some Formula One drivers because we've got Lauda, we've got Button,
Shay.
Okay, what's the goods? Good God, good Lord, good grief,
good
and
heavens.
good heavens, good
Also good
gracious.
gracious.
Good gracious and more like good heavens, I think, but you can cycle through them if you want.
And then just got connectors.
Okay, so
3
lava
lives now,
bread,
So-
plenty of time.
Taking it.
So Schwarzenegger,
shea
Shay.
butter,
Lava and Lord?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is Arnold Laver a person? What's his name? The tennis player. Rod Laver.
unbuckle,
Wait, so
unzip, unbutton, untoggle? No.
I mean, toggle, buckle, button, and zip, they're all connections on
Also, we
clothing.
probably wouldn't have another word one.
Schwarzenegger, governor,
A toggle
plays
is also a thing
Terminator.
on clothing.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
Buckle can be a name as well, but zip and toggle can't be names.
Presumably button, if we've only got button Schwarz... assuming this is correct. Lava shear.
Well, I think these are the names of 4 people, but I couldn't tell you.
You've got a minute.
Oh, is it? Could? No, I was thinking if we could have anagrams for those because of Rebel, but we can't.
Schwarz means black.
Shea Stadium. No. Do you want to guess this? See if it works.
You've solved the wall. OK, you can also get points for the connection. So tell me about the first group, Waldheim, or however you choose to pronounce it, Klimt, Lauder, Popper.
Famous Austrians.
They are Austrians of Waldheim, of course. I tried to mislead you with my pronunciation, but no. Heavens, gracious, grief, God.
They're all exclamations if you precede them by good.
That's absolutely right. And what about the next group? Zip, button, buckle, toggle.
All sorts of things you can have on clothes and fiddle with.
To put them together, connections on
They are
clothing.
fastenings, that's absolutely right. And what about the last group? Lord, Schwarzenegger, she or Shay, Laver or Lava.
The California governors.
Have they all been governors of California?
One of them has been a governor of California. No. They are people who have given their names to sports stadiums. So Thomas Lord gave his name to Lord Schwarzenegger. There was a sports stadium in Austria with his name on. He actually asked them to take it off after a controversy about the death penalty when he was governor of California. Shay, that is a lawyer who gave his name to the Shea Stadium, and Rod Laver, the great tennis player. They have stadiums or stadia named after them. But you found all the groups and you get 3 points for the connections. That's a total of 7. Let's invite the eco-warriors down from their trees now, give them the other connecting wall, see what they can do about solving it. You get the water wall, 2.5 minutes to solve it, starting now.
Right. National curriculum.
National curriculum.
No other nationals there. So that one.
Caveat on this. Caveat.
Latin.
Latin. Fox.
Nope, that's not it.
Kinetic.
Right. Oops. What is Health got? Goodrum, she was an Australian actress, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Delta Goodrum, pop star.
I think it was an
Judy
actress.
Durham, she was an Australian singer.
Nick Cave.
Nick Cave.
No, it's not that one. Melba, what is that about from Peach?
She's
An
A
Australian
singer.
singer.
Right.
Australian singer.
Yeah, Australian singer, Delta Goodrum was. Nope, not it. Right.
David
What did
Helfgott.
Who is he?
I think he was a pianist.
Right.
Of some kind. No, we have
Pop star,
urban, we have
rock
pop,
star.
we have sonic.
Box.
Box.
Nope, it's not it. Oh dear.
Latin terms after
Status.
status quo. Fox.
Curriculum vitae, caveat emptor,
Vox pop.
cave, whatever.
Nope. Try Vox. Vox populi. So
Vox.
yay.
We got one.
Right.
Right.
Sonic is a hedge.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ah. Sub-editor.
Sub-editor, yes.
Submarine.
Submarine.
Subsonic, submarine.
And suburban. Yep.
Urban.
Suburban there.
Yep.
Yay.
3 lives now, about 40 seconds.
Not long left now. Silver.
David Helfgott.
Yep.
Nick Cave.
Yep.
Melba.
Melba.
Goodrum or
Yeah.
Durham.
It's one of the two. Try it. Got it.
2 lives.
Goodrum, Durham. David Helfgott and Cave in.
What the hell I've got on Melba? Try that.
Helfgott.
Yay.
That's it, you've solved the wall. Very well done. And more points available for the connections. What about that first group starting caveat?
They're all Latin phrases that would have an addition on the end. Caveat emptor, curriculum vitae, status quo and vox populi.
That's absolutely right, beginnings of Latin phrases. And the green group?
They can all go with sub at the start and front.
You can put sub in front of all of them. And the next group, Durham, Helfgott, Melba, Goodrem.
They're all Australian musical performers.
That's right, yes, David Helfgott, that's right. The film Shine is about him, isn't it, Helfgott? And the last one, Cave or Cave, performance pop kinetic.
They can go before art.
They can go before art. They are types of art. Very well done. So 4 points for the connections as well. And the bonus, that is the maximum of 10 points. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Eco Warriors have 12 points. The Snake Charmers have 16. On with round 4, the Missing Vowels round. Fingers on buzzers teams. The first group are all films with countries in the title. Snake Charmers.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Correct. Eco Warriors.
Good Morning Vietnam.
Correct. Charmers.
Australia.
Correct. Charmers. Too long, I'm afraid. Eco Warriors, do you know? No, it's Once Upon a Time in America. Next category, cars and their emblems. Eco Warriors.
Ferrari and Prancing Horse.
Correct. Warriors.
Maserati and Trident.
Correct. Warriors.
Lamborghini and Bull.
You're the car guy, aren't you? Next clue. Warriors.
Jaguar and Jaguar.
Well done. Next category, they all contain almonds. Snake Charmers.
Masala.
Not it, I'm afraid. Eco Warriors, do you know? Too long. It's muesli. Next clue. Don't know. This is badam pasanda. Next clue. Not seeing it. It's soft cell. Mark Almond, of course. Mark Almond, the singer of Soft Cell. That's what that one was. But after a very exciting round 4, the bell has gone, the scores are in, and I can tell you that the winners with 17 points are the Eco Warriors. And just pipped with 16 points, it's the Snake Charmers. The good news is, we're now in round 2, you don't go home. I'm starting to figure out our new structure, and I think the way it works is, after round 1, almost everyone goes home. After round 2, you can't go home. Nobody goes. So you'll be coming back, you'll be coming back. Lovely to see you, and see you again. Thank you for watching. And coming up next on BBC Two, a repeat of this week's Only Connect. It'll be kicking off with a question about Pressed, Stained and Little Hood. Will you get it right? I bet you don't. Goodbye.